Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be doing something I don't think I've ever done before, which is I'm going to be reviewing some games I played against some chess bots. These are all bots in this video, and these are the new special November edition bots from like Clash of Clans or Clash Royale. I could be totally wrong on that, something like that, but I've never done that before. I'm going to be showing you, I believe, 3 games, and like you see from you can see what they look like from the thumbnail, but let's just get into the first game. So the first one is me versus Bent Nose and Wartface. Those are their names. They're like a duo, but they're like one person somehow, and they're somewhere around 400. I didn't get that number totally correct, but I was playing with white pieces, and again, it goes usually worst to best. So the top guy was like old wise man, and he was 3150. Sorry if I'm sounding kind of weird. It's just because a little congested. I go with d4. They go knight to f6. I go c4, and I'll drop a little bit of their dialogue here. They're talking a little bit, and I go knight to f3. They go b6, which is, I mean, fine, I guess. Knight c3, and they say I might need a spear to handle that. I don't know what that means. Bishop to b7, bishop e5, and he says, Bent Nose, keep an eye on that. And this is them just talking to each other. And here they lose a piece. So first I take here instead. Okay, and then I go here. So I could have just taken the knight, but it's fine. And I'm up a queen for bishop. d5, and this, he says, of course, Bent Nose blames it on his guy. He says this is Wartface. This is Wartface's fault. And f5 is played by black. E takes, bishop to h6, f takes e6, king to f8, and he says Bent Nose set you up too good there. So we're only partway through the game, and they're already talking trash about each other. Knight takes d7, d6, knight to e6, queen to d5. And here I'm gonna just take all their pieces. Bishop to d3, rook to f8, knight to d5. Knight to d5, I think I just wanted to get in there knight e7 or queen to e7. Just weave a mating net there. Bishop to b7 is played. That doesn't really do anything. I go queen e7 check. Queen e4, bishop takes d5, queen takes d5, rook to e8 check. I just move my king, and so far it's just totally fine for me. After king to f1, they just take on f3, which, I mean, I guess what else can they do, because I'm almost going to checkmate them soon. So I take with the queen. Obviously, I wouldn't want to take with the pawn. That just ruins everything. Rook to e5, and we have a one-sided trade, which means I just take their rook. Rook g8, queen takes f6, and queen takes g5 check, king to f7, rook takes f8 check. I just give it away, it's fine. And checkmate. So checkmated in 30 moves, which is more moves than I would have wanted, but you know, it's fine. Okay. Now, these are the worst guys. These two guys are the worst, okay? Next up, we have like a 700 or what was that one guy rated? Maybe more than that. But it's like 400 or something, and then maybe 7 or 800, and then 1300, and then 3100. So there's a pretty big gap between those last two. So this was the first one we got to win. And I didn't play the last guy because I was like, no, I'm gonna lose in 5 moves. So I didn't play the last guy. I played the first 3 guys. So I'll show you those games now. Okay, here we go. So I'm just guessing. I think it's around 800. Maybe it could be. Let's just change it to 900 because it's probably closer to that. But I don't want to change it too far because then I'll look weird. Okay. Again, playing with white pieces. Vonica? I'm just going to say Vonica is the name of Vonica. I don't know. I don't play the game that these guys are from, so I wouldn't know. Also, again, we got the shirt from the website here. You can check out the website with the link, the first link in the description, and we'll have new products coming soon. We already have this one and another a quote shirt from Emmanuel Lasker, the guy who had the I believe that was the guy who had the most years of any world champion in history. So like he was world champion for a total of 27 years, but he didn't hold that. Well, maybe I don't know, maybe he held it consistently. Anyway, d4 e6, c4 and queen to h4. This is how you know you're playing a different kind of player. They play something like this. Knight to f3, queen g4. And I guess to develop, I mean, they already hang pieces, which is great. Knight to a6, bishop e3, and they move the king for absolutely no reason. Like, there's literally no reason that you would need to remove that. b4, queen f6, b5, and I just clean up the pieces because I mean, it's just ridiculous. And they hang that, and it's a check. So now I trade, and they don't even take. So I go here, and I fork their two pieces. I take the rook, and I mean, absolutely, I still have all but one of my pieces. Well, no. Yeah, all but one of my pieces, right? But I just try and go in for the kill as fast as I can, because, you know, whatever. And check, check, and mate. So it's a weird looking checkmate. I mean, the knight's just over there doing nothing. But you got the two Bs scoping out these squares here, and the queen is making sure nothing gets over here, and also this knight is here, but it doesn't need to be because the queen's already there. So nice looking checkmate. I got it in 33 moves. And yeah, so, and then at the end it says, you seem better at this than I thought. Now it's time for some real training in OSRS. I have no idea what that is. If anybody knows what that is, please let me know, because I have absolutely no clue. Okay, so last guy. This is the toughest one. I believe his name is like Cat Guy or something. What's his name? Bob the Cat. Okay, close. His name is Bob the Cat. And then I'm going to be showing you a very special, the creme de la creme is a game that I played against Martin Bot. So stick around for that last game, because you know Martin can have some surprises, if you know what I'm talking about. Okay, game number 3. I'm also playing sorry, these things are wrong. I thought I was playing the black pieces, so just disregard that. I'm playing with the white pieces here. Okay. d4, knight to f6, c4, e6, and they go play the Queen's Gambit declined. Or now I play the open Catalan, which you guys know I love to play. Here we trade queens. I was just watching a video about how people think trading, doing this and not letting your opponent castle is like, could be really bad for them. But actually they were saying that in some cases it can actually really help them. So I was like, okay, bring on the no castling. I just want to see what happens. So I go knight c3, e5, and they do this, and I go here, and I take, and so far we have this. It's kind of so-so. I mean, they got a pawn up, knight to f8, knight d5, and they allow me to fork them. And then I go here, check, and I go here, and I trade, and we trade. Okay. And I leave my bishop here. I thought that was good because it has like kind of an outpost thingy, and it's defended by the pawn and everything, so it could be pretty good. Knight to h4, g5. Okay, so my main idea, you might be thinking, you know, you just hung this, but I mean, I do have two bishops that are hanging here, so I mean it's fine so far, but that didn't happen. So rook to d6, bishop takes c3, and they just go back because I threatened them. King to d3, bishop g1. Here I just let them, I mean, they can take the pawn if they want. King to f7, which they do, and then I take here, and then I just want to cut their king off. And this is what we have. So I mean, I push here, trade, and I want to make sure that nothing, you know, they don't get the pawn over there. Okay. And here, oh, it was pretty embarrassing, but it was a stalemate. So, I mean, I did win against a 1300 bot, which is nice. I mean, the last time that happened, it was... Who was it? What was that bot that I won against? That was 1300. I don't know, but it was one of the main bots, like the normal bots they have there. Okay, folks, if you made it this far, first of all, thank you. And second of all, you're going to be witnessing one of the most interesting games of chess I've ever seen being played against the Martin bot, which is the worst bot on chess.com. The worst bot on chess.com. And I've played a few games against Martin bot, okay? Okay, so for this game, I am actually playing with the black pieces. And e4, e5. And here he says, this is a classic king's pawn opening, which I kind of knew that. Knight f3, knight c6, knight c3. My kids say hi, which I thought was very interesting because I did not know Martin was married. Bishop c5, bishop c4, knight to f6, castles, castles. Look at the position. I did not think Martin was capable of playing such a normal position, but apparently he is, okay? Knight to d5, knight takes, and knight to d4, knight takes, bishop takes, b4, and bishop takes a1. So here he goes back to his, oh my goodness, there's a fly in here. Got it. Okay. Bishop takes a1. So here he goes back to his normal Martin ways and hangs to rook. G3, c6, and he does this. Trade. Bishop to e6. He says, a generous offer. Since the queen is the most powerful piece, I will capture it. But there's no queen there. I mean, there goes my best piece. And after we play 2 moves, then he says that. So it's like, okay, whatever. Rook a d8, rook f1. Bishop takes f1, king takes f1, rook to d1. And I just pick up his pieces. I feel kind of bad, but I also didn't care because he's just so bad and he needs to be shown how bad he is sometimes. f4, rook to d2 check, king f3, rook f1 check, king g4, rook takes h2, king f takes e5. Okay, now I'm just up 2 rooks, and I'm trying to think, okay, what's the most humane way to end this? Because I don't want to just take all his pieces and stalemate him. I need to think of a good way to do this. So, what is that way? H-shot check. Think carefully, you might have checkmate soon. King to g5. King h7. f6 check. E takes. G takes. G takes f6 is actually checkmate. So I won in 28 moves, which I beat the shortest amount of time, which is nice. And then he says, great play. Do you want to coach my kids? And I also didn't know his kids needed coaching with someone so good as a dad. So that's going to wind it up. That's the last game. So I hope you all enjoyed. I played those 3 bots from November's edition, and I also played Martin bot, which that one was a very special game. Thank you all for watching. Again, we have this and more in the website, so check that out if you want to support. And if you don't want to buy anything, that's fine. Just you can subscribe. That'll do the same thing. And thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. May or may not be merry on the chessboard, like the shirt says.